Hey everybody, welcome to another happy episode of my Partridge Family Collection. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great summer. It's really hot where I am. I hope that you're staying cool. And because of that, I thought, you know what? This might be a good time to do a cool stuff episode. We haven't done one in a while, and if you're new here, the cool stuff episodes are just they're just videos that I show random items from my collection. They have no correlation to each other. They're not part of a set. They're not part of a series or anything. They probably wouldn't warrant a show like all by themselves, but together they're cool. They're cool stuff. And I actually have a theme to this cool stuff episode because I was looking through some of my items and I actually have some cool novelty type items. And I was like, you know what? Novelty items are kind of cool to share, I think. And I'm actually calling this episode Cool Stuff Number 4, Novelties and More. It just writes itself sometimes, right? But the reason being is because I was, looking at like what exactly is a novelty item. And I've always thought novelty items are just kind of things that don't really have a purpose. They just make us laugh. They make us smile. They're kind of cool. Sometimes we go to trade shows. You might get a novelty item like a fidget spinner or something like that with a brand on it. And sometimes, I'll show this to you later, but like a guitar pick. This is from Danny Bonaducci's show when he was with 94 YSP in Philly, and he gave out these little guitar picks. I think I've showed this to you before. Zoom, come on. I'll show this to you in a bit close up. But like this is a novelty item, right? I mean, you can use it. It's a guitar pick, but I think these were given out to like guests on the show, maybe the street team, like the radio street team when they went out to events, they gave these out. So they're kind of cool, like this cup. Like it has a purpose. It's kind of random. It's 53rd anniversary. I mean, what the heck? It's like 2003, I got this, I think. Yeah. So so it's just a cool item, right? I mean, but it does hold my pens and things on my desk, so that's kind of cool. But so the and more part of the title is just to cover me because in case I show you something that's not a novelty, you don't have to run to the comments and say that's really not a novelty item. So and more. See? So yeah, see what I did there? So yeah, but one thing's guaranteed for sure on this episode, you will see something that you've never seen before. Guaranteed. Maybe at least one thing, maybe two. At least two, maybe one. At least two items that you've never seen before because I'd never seen them until they kind of like fell in my lap and I was like, well, this is very cool. So they're cool stuff. So that's the cool stuff. Before we get started though, I have a couple of big announcements that I want to make. I'm super excited. I was going to wait to the end of the show to share these announcements, but then I was like, why do that? That's silly. I'm so excited to share it with you. I'm going to just top of the video, we'll share these things out so you don't have to wait. So the first thing is I was recently invited to be on a podcast. I don't know if you know this show. It's so great. It's called Ed's Pop-O-Matic Podcast. It's actually a YouTube show. He's also has an audio podcast. But it's so cool because he's all very retro. A lot of times he has these panels of experts on, or just like people who are interested in things like the Monkees and the Beatles and pop culture, the Partridge Family. So he invited me on. I got to talk about the Partridge Family and David Cassidy for like a full hour, which was great. It's playing now. I'll put the link on the show notes so you can go and check it out. I had so much fun, and let me tell you, like he's had some really great guests on his show. So to be asked to come on was a big honor and big thanks. Ed Rising, Ed Rising, sorry, he's the host of the show, and he was just so kind and generous and let me share some things. And just so you know, I'm sharing items from my collection on his show that I've never shared before, like with you guys yet. So sneak peek if you want to go and check that out, check his video out. It was so much fun for me. I could hardly contain myself, and you could probably tell that. So link is on the show notes. Go watch it. Ed's Pop-O-Matic. In fact, he had another great episode, the episode before mine, where he interviewed two ladies who were organizers in the recent David Cassidy street dedication in East Orange, New Jersey. Katie was there, Bo was there, David's kids, right? They were there, and it was such a great event. And so we talked to these two organizers. It's really interesting. I'll put that link on the show note too, in case you want to check it out, because that was a big event in East Orange, New Jersey. Big dedication to David Cassidy, and I get chills. I just got chills in the back of my neck just thinking about it. It was so great. They were showed a little bit of it on social media, so looked like a great event. And Ed had those two organizers on, so I'll share that link with you. The other big announcement is my Partridge Family Collection now has a website, finally. Actually, I never even thought I would have a website, to be honest with you. I figured, all I do is videos. That was the thing, YouTube, okay. But the website became kind of a necessity because people would ask me, well, where can I hear you? Where can I listen to you? Where can I see your stuff? And so I thought, okay, website's probably a good idea to have. It has all the links there, links to the videos, links to the podcast. I have pictures on there. I'm going to be doing a blog. Actually, I have a couple of blogs on there right now. And I'm trying to do that like every other week. So that'll be fun for me, and I hope it's fun for you too. It's still a work in progress. I'm still trying to figure out like how people can subscribe to the blogs. So bear with me on that, but it's mypartridgefamilycollection.com, and visit it. I hope you enjoy it. And also I'll have I'm going to start doing little snippets of the retro reviews as well. So, but that again, like it's a work in progress. And on top of that, I'm also exploring a Facebook group. I know I've resisted Facebook all these years, but everybody seems to be on it in my age group, I guess, in our age group. So I figured I might as well jump on the bandwagon and get on the Facebook groups and try to let people know that we're here, because I think that's our demo, right? Facebook. I used to say, oh, Facebook's for aunties and grandmas. I guess that's me, right? That's a lot of us. So stop resisting. I'm still on TikTok, still on Instagram. I love those platforms. But I really am going to try to embrace the Facebook group. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, mypartridgefamilycollection.com is now live. Check it out. Let me know if there's things on there that I should have on there that I don't. I'm open to suggestions at this point. So those are the big announcements. And also, wait to the end of the show. We do have another retro review. If you love the Partridge Family, and I know you do. If you love Shirley Jones, and I know you do. If you love the Cowsills, you're going to love this retro review. If you don't know the Cowsills, you're going to love the retro review. So let's do it. Let's get into some novelty items. I've got some cool novelty items to share with you. So let's do it. Let's go. So before I share with you these cool novelty magnets, and high quality magnets at that, I want to show you the packaging, because, packaging to me is everything. Because, if something comes and it's, damaged, or maybe it's not treated right, in the mailroom, packaging just goes a long way for me. And it also shows me that the company cares about their product so much that they're going to really and I've opened this box, so it's kind of trash, but they really care about their product, and they show it in the packaging. And this company is called Album Mags. I'll share the link on our show notes so you can go and order your own. They have I don't know how many hundreds and hundreds of album covers they have of like every band that you want, know, and love. And they have these Partridge Family album covers. They're pristine. I'm going to show you a close-up of these, but I just want to show you the packaging. Like the box in itself is great, but then you open it up and you get these, factory sealed, individually wrapped magnets. This is unheard of to me. This is like so cool. This is worth the price. I think the cost of these. And by the way, I'm not getting any money to promote this company. I just think they're really cool. And I have the high quality stuff. I've never gotten a bad magnet from them. And this is the packaging. I just love the packaging. We'll look at they're all kind of stuck together because they're magnets, but I'm just going to share a couple of these packages with you because I'm impressed. as an old packaging and labeling person, this stuff is great. So just want to share that with you, and now we'll look at the magnets up close because they are very cool. I had a feeling I was going to get some glare on these high quality refrigerator magnets, but I'm going to give you a close-up version. I did these in chronological order. Wait a minute. It's not right. Come on now. You know I know better than that, right? Okay, there you go. We're actually missing one, right? So there was another album right in between here called At Home with the Partridge Family, which was the greatest hits, but I don't have that. I'll have to write a letter to Album Mags and see if they can get me that. But these are all the studio albums. And I'm going to give you a close-up of these right now. I know I'm going to get some glare, but look, I mean, just the fact that I get glare off of these is great, because then you know how high quality they are. You know the album mags because they actually have their website here, like on all the sides. www.albummags.com. There they are. This is right on, right? This is the album that started it all. I'm just going to go through all of these so you can get a look up to date. Colors are vibrant, so sharp. Look at that. Oh, I love these magnets. Partridge Family Christmas card. Fortunately, I have a metal desk. Like my desk is metal on the legs and things, so I can put these on. And my family comes in, they're like, where'd you get all those magnets? I'm like, wouldn't you like to know? But I'm telling you, they have every single album that you would want. Oops, I knew that was going to happen. I felt it going. But they're so sturdy, nothing's going to happen to these things. But every magnet, every album cover that you could think of, they have. I like that they did the notebook, Partridge Family notebook. They put the picture on there because we know in the imports it was like that, but not on the US version. But that's cool. I like that. Yeah, I have a bunch of magnets in my cart I haven't bought yet because I was like, I need to save my money. But like, the Doors, I'm a big Doors fan, and like Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, they have like a lot of stuff. So they have the albums. And I'm sure if there's an album that you don't see on their website, I'm sure if you drop them a line, I'm sure they'll make one for you. I don't know if that's true. They'll probably write me a letter and say, why'd you tell people that? But you can ask, right? I mean, it's no harm in asking. These are very cool. So let me show you some other ones that I have. I think these are bonuses right here. Remember this, when this came out, the CD, David Cassidy and the Partridge Family. I have this on CD, but I also have it on my playlist because you can download it now on Apple iTunes. I mean, it's right on. It's the album cover. And then they have this is the cover of the DVDs, right? The Partridge Family 2200 AD. And if you missed it, I did a show on this animation version of the Partridge Family. I'll put the link in the show notes. You can go check it out if you missed it. That was fun. And then also, one of the TV guides, I think they had like 4 covers. One was just David. Maybe there was a couple with David. I have them. We'll go through them one day. But this is like, and I also love that the dimensions are the same, right? Like you had the CD, that's like the dimension of a CD, and then you have the TV guide, dimension of the TV guide, dimension of the DVD cover. I mean, the attention to detail, in every way is just so great. I really appreciate it because I have some magnets that I'm going to show you that aren't this great. Remember this CD when it came out? And we're going to see this logo a little bit as we look into our novelty items a little bit more. the DVDs, when the DVDs came out. The complete series. That was great, right? Audio commentary by Danny Bonaducci and Shirley Jones. So great. There's that logo. That was like 2005 through, I think, 2009. They did this logo, and, you know, coincided with the release of the DVDs and some of the remastered CDs as well. Here's another one I love. Yeah, look at these. These are high quality magnets. And then this one I really like. I saw this one on eBay that they had for sale, and I think they only had one left. David Cassidy's TV show Man Undercover. This is the cover of the DVD or the CD or the DVD, yeah. So cool. So yeah, these magnets are great. I love them. I go on their website quite often because I'm like, what is that? What do they have anything new that I'm missing? You know, God forbid if I'm missing something. But these are great magnets. I love this little mini collection that I have. And I encourage you to go there and support the small business because they're doing quality work, and it's not easy to do something like this. And it's not cheap either. And I mean, their prices are very reasonable for a magnet of this quality. I mean, I actually spent, I think I spent like, mine was like $12 at Disneyland recently getting a magnet for a friend. It's like $12 for a magnet? Come on. These are very affordable. Nowhere near that. So I highly recommend it. Link is in the show notes. Check out their website. Oh, left one. So a couple other novelty magnets that I have that are not from that company. They're from different companies. You know, flimsy kind of. This is kind of. It's all right. It's not bad. The printing is a lot to be desired. When I got it, I was a little disappointed because the black isn't really black. It's got like some, you know, there's some discoloration and it's kind of fuzzy, like kind of pixelated a little bit. This one's not too bad. It's good quality. It's not an album mags because they don't have their website there, and I think it's kind of older too. Kind of cool to have. And then this one too is pretty good quality. I like this one. This is, of course, comes from the album cover. But cool, right? Magnets. Very cool. Magnetic. So I told you that I had some guitar picks to share with you, and I'm calling these novelties because I don't know where they came from, and I doubt that they came from on set or anything like that. But we do know that David Cassidy and Danny Bonaducci did a little tour, and is it possible that they made these for that show? Possibly, but I'm not sure. I'm an avid guitar pick collector. As you guys probably know, I have a lot of different guitar picks from different bands and artists. And of course, I have probably the largest David Cassidy guitar pick collection on the block, I think, which we'll show at another date. But I think these are considered novelties because I don't know where else they would have, you know, been. I doubt if they used these type of things on the set. Now, the other Partridge Family guitar pick that I have probably was part of the show that David did when Danny Bonaducci opened for him as a comedian, and then he came on later on during the show and actually played the bass.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, running free. When I do all the beat, good and tender melody. Oh shit, listen, I'm so concentrated on you, I'm making the wrong chord. Oh. So all around the house, I am, help me find my way.
Could Danny Bonaducci have actually played the bass with a Partridge Family guitar pick? What do you think? Do you know anything about these? Let me know if you do. Otherwise, I just consider them novelty items, things that were created after the fact. But I'm thinking it had to do something with that show that Danny and David did. But it's very cool to have. I don't find these Partridge Family guitar picks very often. And when I do, they go really fast. People buy them up. I wish I knew more about them, but very cool, right? Okay, guys, hang on to your hats for this. I told you were going to see something you've never seen before. I'd be surprised if you did see this. What is this? You've got that logo there from the early aughts, 2005 to about 2009. All right. Fully jointed 8-inch action figures. David Cassidy as Keith Partridge, TV superstars, and got his face there on the side. This is a box, by the way. David Cassidy as Keith Partridge, 8-inch action figure. You got the Mondrian design there. And everybody's favorite toy company, Mego. I believe out of China. This is a prototype box. I'm gonna end the suspense here. This is a prototype box because they did, I guess, at one point, we're gonna make a Keith Partridge 8-inch action figure. But, of course, there's no doll in here. It's just a prototype of a box that I picked up and I was like, what the heck? Did they ever create this? No. But it is a slick box. I mean, it is really nice. Maybe there's some great, if you go on their website, they have some great dolls, action figures. And this would come out, I guess. I'm not going to take it out, but I think this is a novelty item just because there's no doll that goes with it. It's a prototype of a box that someone thought of that maybe it was going to happen. And just to give you an idea of Mego products, I also have a Christy McNichol Mego doll from 1978, so a little bit older. She actually signed this for me. Very cool. Mego. This is the way they did them. But if you look at the size of the Christy McNichol doll, which is 8 inches, I mean, it fits. I mean, there's like the doll would fit down here, the feet. So it's just about the same size. So the David Cassidy doll would be about this size. How cool would it have been to have had this doll made? I mean, whew, would have flown off the shelves. I don't know why they didn't do it. I mean, it went so far as to do the box. You know, and it's high quality, just like their regular packaging. This is like 78. It's the same type of box here. But this would have come out because of the logo. I'm thinking probably 2005, 2006, something like that. And it would go along with all, you know, the DVDs that came out, the DVD set, which we're gonna look at in a minute, you know, and some of the remastered DVDs that came out that they used this logo for, right? So very cool. I thought you would like to see that. Just a prototype box. Makes us think, what if? Come on, Mego. We have it all done here. Fully jointed 8-inch action figure. Manufactured exclusively for Mego Corporation, New York, New York, in the British colony of Hong Kong. Very interesting. Have you seen this before? Be honest with me. I bet you haven't. Because I never saw it until it fell into my lap and I was like, what is that? Insane. Very cool though. Just imagine David's face in that box. So of course we all know about the classic lunchbox, and somebody very smart thought, well, let's do a little novelty item of the lunchbox. The Partridge Family, the complete first season. You know where this is going, right? Come on, get happy. 2008 CPT Holdings, all rights reserved. 2008, these came out. Partridge Family, the complete for season. I'm looking at all sides here in the front. And this is very cool. I mean, it's all embossed. You know, I don't know if you can see, it's like raised, the image on both sides. It's got like a nice little lunchbox feel to it. I think this is a novelty item because, I mean, what's inside is not a novelty, but the packaging in and of itself is, I think. And then, of course, this is the complete first season DVD of the Partridge Family. This came out, I believe, in 2005. So this Novelty Lunchbox, I think, came out a few years later. But this was great, right? Audio commentary. There were some bonus tracks in here. I think there was, yeah, audio commentaries with stars Shirley Jones and Danny Bonaducci. Includes a four-song music sampler CD from the Ultimate Partridge Family CD. In stores now. It's got a little story there. And we'll look at the DVDs here. Disc 1 of 2. I'll take a look at that. Let's see if I get this here. So great, so well done, you know. The quality of these are great. Disc 1, disc 2. Those were the days, right, when the shows had like 25 episodes. Unless you were Lost in Space, then you got like 30, 31 episodes a season. Now they're like 8 episodes or 10 episodes. Yeah. How many episodes were in season 1? 25. And then also came with a bonus, let's see here, CD. So you got your DVD and then you got a CD. 4-song CD, I Think I Love You, I Can Feel Your Heartbeat, Point Me in the Direction of Albuquerque, which is interesting, and Come On Get Happy. I say that's interesting just because it was never released as a single. Tony Romeo, great song. Yeah, but you know, so you can buy the first set, obviously. They have the complete sets as well. But can you buy it in this cool novelty lunch pail? What a great selling point. Well, I've been dying to share this doll with you. It's sometimes in my background. Some people have commented on it. So here you go. This is a regular Barbie doll. My niece gave it to me. I'm like, can I have one of your Barbie dolls? She's like, sure. Lost your glasses there. I'm going to take her guitar off of her. This is a Malibu Barbie, actually. But what I wanted to show you was the dress. This groovy Mondrian style dress that was made for the Twiggy doll. I don't have a Twiggy doll. They're available on eBay, but they're super pricey. And I just, do I really want to spend $200 on a Twiggy doll when I can just, you know, get a Malibu Barbie, dress her up. Oh, look it. She looks like Lori Partridge, kind of. But yeah, this is... the thing I love about the Barbie dolls is like any outfit fits any doll. But this is a vintage dress that was created by Mattel for Twiggy. And I don't know, I just think it's really cool. I would consider this kind of a novelty item. Mini skirt, Mondrian style design. It screams Partridge Family. And I don't know, I just like it. I have it displayed in my room, and just one of those things that's kind of rare that you don't see a lot. And I don't think these Mondrian dresses are that available out there, but I do see them from time to time on eBay. But I like it's in good condition, right? There's no tears or anything. It's got a little Velcro strip on there. And if Twiggy can wear it, Susan Day can wear it for sure. Those little size zeros. Cool stuff, right? So many cool stuff, novelty items. I'm going to pull these out so you can see them without a glare. So these come from Australia. We know David was super big in Australia. And they look like regular postage stamps, right? But they're actually novelty postage stamps. They were never released by the Australian Postal Department. They were not used. They're just vignettes, as they were. I know that's a fancy word for me to use, but that's how they're described as. Local Post, David Cassidy with his headphones on, looking very happy. $1 postage. But like I said, these were just novelty stamps, not released as real stamps. And then here's another one. Great pic of David Cassidy, American icon. Now Australia did come out with some real postage stamps around Australian icons or Australian TV stars and movie stars that were used for real on postage, but not these David Cassidy stamps. These were just for fun. I think this is considered a real novelty item, right? Just no real purpose other than just it's kind of cool. This one's got David with the cowboy hat on, looking very Australian. So these are very cool to have. Keep these in my book here. And then I'll show you some more that I have. There's a ton of these out there, and I just don't have them all. I guess these would be part of a series. I said that sometimes these cool stuff episodes are items that are not part of a series or a set, but I guess these would be considered. And these are the Partridge Family. So they also did Partridge Family. The Partridge Family, $1.80, local post. Put this here. As you can see. Uncut on a sheet. And like I said, they did a lot of these. I don't know really how many are out there. These I just came across, and a lot of times I see these, they're ones I already have, so I'm sure I'm missing a few. Here's another one. This famous picture with Reuben in the front and the family color photo. And this one's $1.50, black and white. I was just curious because the writing on it is in color. The Partridge Family with the Partridge Family logo, local post. And there's got the family there in black and white. So these are little vignettes, novelty stamps. So very cool to have these. Again, I don't know when else I would share them with you. They don't really go with anything else that I have, other than they're just cool. Cool. Woo, it's hot in here. Which is why we got some cool stuff. Yeah, that's fun, right? Fun to look at some of that stuff. I hope that you enjoyed it. Little cool stuff from my collection. And again, I'm so happy to be able to share it with you. It brings me so much joy. I'm like nobody else to share this with. Were there some items that you never saw before? Let me know. I'd love to hear of that. And I know there are a few items that I had that I never knew existed before like I said, before they came into my possession. So it's very cool when that happens. So let's do, what do you say? Let's do a retro review. Waiting to do this retro review for quite a while. It's one of my favorite documentaries. I've seen it, I want to say like maybe a half a dozen times. It's called Family Band, The Cowsills Story. And it is one of those documentaries that just kind of stick with you, right? It just doesn't leave your memory, because some of the things, like when I first saw it, I didn't really know a lot about the Cowsills. I knew that the Partridge Family was loosely based on them, and that they were actually slotted to, the Cowsill kids were slotted to play, you know, the parts of the Partridge Family before it was called the Partridge Family. Then they kind of found out that they really couldn't act. So then they were like, we need to cast real actors on this show. And then they brought Shirley Jones in and everything. So I knew that part. I knew I had a couple of Cowsill singles as a kid. I had Hair, which is like a great song that I loved. And then the other one, The Rain, the Park, and Other Things, right? So like they're big hits. They actually had four hits. They had The Rain, the Park, and Other Things, Hair. They had Indian Lake, that was written by Tony Romeo. Love American Style, which was the theme song of the show that became a single. So they had they had some big hits, but I didn't know like the behind the scenes. And so this documentary really gives you the behind the scenes story of these kids. And it's eye-opening, it's heartbreaking, and it's joyous at times, but I mean it's really like you'll go away from this documentary thinking, wow, I had no idea all that stuff was going on. And they were basically just controlled by their parents, especially their dad, Bud Cowsill. He was kind of like, I think he was kind of built from the same thread as Murray Wilson, the Wilson brothers' dad, the Beach Boys. That he was just so domineering. He made all the decisions. He made some bad decisions for them. I mean, they ended up broke after all of that, and it's just a very sad story. Plus, there's some other details that I didn't know. Verbal and physical abuse and things like that. That it's like, ugh. I hate to hear stuff like that. And the mom, Barbara Cowsill, who was in the band, and Bud Cowsill put Barbara in the band. The boys didn't want her in the band. There were four boys at the original Cowsills were four boys. They had a rock band. They didn't want their mom in the rock band, and Bud was like, "No, your mom's going in the rock band." And I think there was some indication too that Barbara didn't even want to be in the band. So they started out with Billy on the guitar, and he was kind of like Billy Cowsill was kind of like the Brian Wilson of the Cowsills. He did like most of the songwriting. He was in the engineer room. Waddy Wachtel was one of his best friends, taught him a lot about engineering and things. Bob Cowsill has a premium role in this documentary. They interview him quite a lot, and he does some of the interviewing as well. And then Barry was on bass, and he has a tragic story. John was on drums, and he's actually married to Vicki Peterson now, if you didn't know, from the Bangles, and they just released a new album too. Paul was on keyboards, and then they had another brother who wasn't even in the band, who went into the service, and he was really abused by Bud. And then, of course, Susan Cowsill, who, again, like they put this little like 7-year-old girl into the band. The boys didn't want that either.
We were busy and we were famous. Teen idols, really. Tours, screaming girls, fan magazines, TV appearances.
I'm telling you, the music is really good too. There were some songs that they played in this documentary that I'd never heard before. And I was like, wow, those are really great songs. I was actually jotted them down when I first watched it, and went out and like bought them because they're really good, and they're just Cowsill songs, that I didn't know existed. And Susan Cowsill as well, and her band. So it's just a lot of good stuff in this documentary. And the other cool thing is Bob Cowsill actually sat down with Shirley Jones and interviewed her for this documentary. And some of the things she says are just so enlightening, I guess, about like the Cowsills and their role in the Partridge Family. The only thing I just wish they would have played more of the Shirley Jones interview, because there's more, right? they show you snippets like in like throughout the video, or throughout the documentary, and you're like, it's just such short snippets. You're like, I know there's more to this. I want to see what's on the cutting room floor. But what we have is pretty good, you know.
Producers looking to create the Partridge Family came to visit us and study us. And then they recast us with actors. Did you ever see a picture of my mom or ever? Oh,
they showed me pictures, yes.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, they brought pictures on the set for everybody to see.
They did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Because we all wanted to know who these people were. I didn't know who you were. And yeah, they brought pictures. They showed us pictures of everybody, you know, and said, these are the people you're playing. This is the group.
Thank you very much. Hey, there's some.
But she even said it, yeah, you guys couldn't act, so we just went with actors. But very cool if you like, you know, stuff like that, and you like Shirley Jones, like we all do. Love her actually. It's great to see. The other, like, there was an eye-opening point in this documentary too, where I think it's Billy Cowsill, and like I said, Billy Cowsill was considered like the Brian Wilson of the band. Not as, you know, as big as Brian, of course, not as like weird genius as Brian, but you know, up there. And in fact, like we saw like Murray Wilson get fired by Brian at one point. In the Cowsills, it was the other way around. Bud Cowsill actually fired Billy. Like, why would you do that? Why would you get rid of your like star, like your hit maker, your songwriter, your engineer, your, you know, your visionary? After that, it all went downhill as it was kind of like predicted without Billy Cowsill. Billy Cowsill, yeah. So I don't know, it's just crazy. But the one eye-opening thing is they interviewed Billy, and Billy has since passed, but they did this documentary before he passed away, and they talk about Indian Lake by Tony Romeo, and like when they're out on tour, and I've seen the Cowsills play a few times now, they play Indian Lake. It was a big hit for them. It was a big hit for Tony Romeo too. But Billy is like, Indian Lake was like a bad song.
Abysmal demo of Indian Lake. He goes, "This is your next single." And I heard it and I just broke down and cried. Said, "How can you do this to this band? This thing is bullshit." And he came out of his chair, just wanted to smack me. He goes, "Well, you're doing it." So I don't know how I did it, but I whipped it into some kind of popness and rock and roll as I could with this piece of material. And it was our next single, and it only did 800,000. And that was when the politics of my father and myself started breaking down rapidly.
Interesting, right? So this documentary was originally released in August of 2011. It was picked up by Showtime in 2013. It's directed by Bill Filipiak and Louise Palanker. Sorry if I'm butchering those names. They both have experience in music videos and documentaries and things like that. So it premiered on Showtime, but now you can only watch it on Amazon Prime. And you can buy it. It's fairly inexpensive, or you can rent it. I think it's like $1 or something. If you have Amazon Prime, you get to see it for free. And I've watched it multiple times because it is that good. And because of that, family band, the Cowsills Story, I'm giving 5 partridges. I hardly ever give anything 5 partridges, but I'm giving this documentary hands down 5 partridges. It's that good. You'll enjoy it. You'll learn something. You'll have some joy in your heart. You'll have some disgust. You'll be like mad, and you'll be disappointed, and you'll be sad. But then you'll be happy too. And it's just like a roller coaster of emotions. I think you'll really enjoy it. So I really recommend that. Family Band, The Cowsills Story. And I hope that you really liked this episode. I hope it didn't make you sad or disappointed. I hope that it made you happy, because that's what we're here for. And if you like the show, remember, like I always said, hit the thumbs up, give us a like, hit the bell so you're notified when a new episode drops. Tell your friends and family about my Partridge Family Collection. Check our website, mypartridgefamilycollection.com. Check me out on Ed's Pop-O-Matic podcast. I'm so excited to share that link with you. Links are all in the show notes, by the way. And like I always say, until next time, wishing you guys all peace, love, and happiness. See you later.